Hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I am Lindsey Hall. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm an intimacy and empowerment coach, and I specialize in all things relationship, but especially divorce, dating, and co-parenting. And I love to help people deepen into intimacy with themselves and with others, really own their power and their pleasure, and live a joyful life that you absolutely fucking love. That is what all of this is about. So I come on every week and I do these tea break chats and Q&As where I chat a little bit about what's been going on for me in the past week. It's kind of just like life chat, whether it's challenges, struggles, celebrations, lessons, all the things. And then I answer questions from you. So it's a chance for free coaching. So I'll just say right now, if you've got a question for next week, go ahead and send it to me. I will answer it here anonymously. I will have to keep this one a bit short. I've got school run to do. I do feel like I've been saying that a lot lately. I must be pushing these back slightly later in the afternoon. Anyway, real life person here, intimacy coach and mom who has to go do the school run. But so anyway, how about I stop wasting time talking about it and get on with it, shall I? The thing I was going to come on today is this is like a real-time thing. Yesterday was a really big, exciting day in terms of I did some really cool stuff and picked up sort of momentum in myself, which then led to me today taking some big actions that I have been putting off for a while. So I will just quickly talk about, I'll talk about what those things were, but then also why they had to happen, when they had to happen, and what I'm doing to handle the big feelings today. Because I really do believe that things happen in our lives and our businesses and all of this when they're meant to. And so sort of as background to all of this, you may know I've been doing my coaching business full-time for over a year now. I was a corporate accountant before this. I left my job at the end of September 2022 to go full-time into coaching. I have been working on this and building this business, and it's amazing. There's all kinds of great stuff, and it's not growing as quickly as I would like it to, which is really common when you're starting a business, and it's scary and hard. And I had money saved up, and then I used up that money. Then I got some tax refunds, and now I've used up that money too. And so I've been for a few months now actually kind of hovering on the edge of oh my gosh, what am I going to do with my business? And part of that has been thinking, do I go back to accounting work? And to be honest, I'm not super pumped about that idea, but I've been working on what that could look like and what that could mean. And really just also doing the things in my business and pushing my business in an online business program, which if you watch these, you'll have heard me talk about before. And I'm learning loads in there. So I'm really, although last year I got really good at the coaching side of things, the business side is taking a bit longer. So the things I've been doing lately though is I have been meeting more people and more focused people in terms of people who can help in my business in various different ways. So yesterday, I didn't really plan any of this through as usual. But so yesterday I was at a personal development book club, and it got me connecting with people. So for me, and I know I've talked about this before, but connecting with people is really what gets my juices flowing and gets me all lit up. So the more I can do actual connections with humans, whether that's networking with people who are kind of on my vibe, whether that's on actual coaching calls are my absolute favorite, whether it's getting coached, whether it's talking to other people building their own businesses, anything conversation is what gets me going. So I had a really great book club yesterday morning. Then I talked to my business bestie. So Emer Draper from Kindling Dating. We are we have this collaboration for the Dating After Divorce program. And also she's building her business at the same time I'm building mine. And it was really helpful to just chat about honestly, where are things at? And what are your options right now? And that was really helpful. And then at the end of the day, I had the penultimate coaching call for the 9-month mastermind I've been in. And we were talking on there about now that this container is ending, what are we calling in? What do we need to do to make that happen? And really talking about trust and surrender and knowing that we can't control the timeline of things a lot of the time. And the analogy was pregnancy and business, whichever you may be like, what? But actually there's a lot of analogy, there's a lot of similarities there. And that feeling that like if you're trying to get pregnant, you do your bits, like, the sex is the good start, but also that, there's things that you can do, like you can stop drinking, and if you, various ways to help your body with the process. It's not going to be a magic formula that gets it all done. Some people get pregnant the first month, some people might never get pregnant, and anywhere in between. But you do the things that you can do, and then you really have to lean back and trust and surrender to, it's going to happen what's going to happen. I can't control all of this. I'll do my part, but I'm relying on, biology, in that case, the universe, to do the other parts. And it may or may not happen. And the analogy to my business is similar, where it's like, okay, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do the things I can do. And also, I can't make it happen. I can't just make my client list fill up just by going like that. I can't go, oh, I've launched this new divorce program and suddenly I have 10 people inside it and my one-to-one coaching roster of 5 one-to-one coaching clients is all full. I wish I could make that happen, but I can't. What I can do is the bits that I can do, and taking that action and trusting that there's something else out there helping me with this, or it's a bit of luck too, to be honest, and going, okay, I gotta lean back and surrender to this. And so sort of the combination of all those things, combination of having a really good morning, connecting with people who got my juices flowing, talking to my business bestie, being real about this is where my business is at. And the reality is I'm not making as much money as I need to be making right now. And I can't just have my head in the sand about that. What can I do to change my financial situation? And then getting on that call, talking about the trust and surrender, but also the actions that you can take, and what are the actions that actually will move the needle, as opposed to make me feel like I'm doing stuff, but actually isn't changing the dial at all. So all of that led to waking up this morning and going, I'm going to take the actions that I've been putting off. There's actions that I have really been dragging my feet on for various different reasons. And today I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And if you've read the book, Eat the Frog, Eat the Damn Frog, something like that. I actually haven't finished all of it. But the concept is, you've got this big thing to do, just do it. Just eat the frog, get it out of the way, and then do all the other stuff. Do the thing that's going to move the dial before you fill up with all the other things. So today, I made 3 calls about accounting work, and I made 2 contacts to divorce lawyers, where I would love to connect with divorce lawyers and work with them, because we have overlapping people that we can help. Divorce lawyers can help with the legal side. I can help with the emotional support side. To me, it's like synergy made in heaven. And so I would really like to connect with more divorce lawyers. I've known that for ages and haven't felt like I had sort of the underlying foundations, the program, the support, where if people were going to suddenly come in, I'd be like, I don't know what to do with you. Whereas now I finally feel like I've got the Divorce Crucible program. I've got these foundations. I'm like, yes, I'm ready. So I went out and made those contacts that I've honestly been dragging my feet on for since last year, for a long time, almost a year actually, that I've been dragging my feet on those. And then also the accounting work, going, I need some income, people. So let's make those calls, which again, I've been putting off because, to be honest, I don't want to go back into accounting work. But like I said, I can't have my head in the sand about it. And your girl needs some money from somewhere. So putting those out there and taking the big actions. But if you saw my stories, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to keel over and die. And honestly, guys, when I was sending these emails, it was like, send, hide. And it's like, this is literally an email. It's pixels on a screen. As far as I'm aware, an email's never actually killed. Sending an email hasn't killed anyone, as far as I know. If you do know about that happening, please don't tell me, actually. I'd rather not know. I'd rather continue assuming that emails can't kill people. But it feels like it. When you do big vulnerable things like that, it can feel like, oh my God, I might just drop dead at this moment. And, that's our nervous system going into high alert and trying to protect us and trying to keep us small and trying to keep the status quo, because change is scary. And all of these things that I did today are moving towards change. That's the point of it. But my nervous system is like, what? Why would you do that? And it puts you into this flight or fight triggered response. And I was like, So, I recognize that. And this is quite helpful that just yesterday I had this trauma awareness training, which was all about these things, and did an exercise about how to re-regulate your nervous system, how to calm you down, because when you're in that triggered response state, your brain, like you don't have access to the executive functions of your brain. Instead, you're in survival mode, and that's what happens, even if it is just sending an email. So I did a dance party because that's always my go-to move. I was at my boyfriend's house when I was doing this, so when I finished that last email, I said, please hold me. And I just had him wrap me up in a hug and just held me for several minutes so I could just breathe and come back into the moment and remind myself that I was actually safe, that there was no saber-toothed tiger chasing me through the fields. It's like, okay, I am not actually about to die. If people say no to me or they're not interested or whatever, fine. Like, this literally isn't going to be the end of the world, yes or no, but I am okay. I am safe, and re-regulated that way. I'm probably going to, after this, do one more dance party before I go pick up the girls, because I can still feel a little bit of residual in there, but it's massively different than I felt this morning when I was like, ah. So that's where I'm at with things, really. That's kind of the update. Is there's lots shifting in my business. I feel like I am in this big growth in some way or another. Do I know exactly what it looks like? Nope. Do I know if I'm going to end up getting an accounting job? Maybe. Am I suddenly going to have a whole bunch of clients come rushing in? Maybe. Is it going to be somewhere in between? Or is it going to be something else that I can't even imagine yet? I don't know. All I know is that where I'm at right now isn't sustainable. I need some more income coming in. I need these things to happen, and I am open for the big magic of however it's going to happen, but I cannot just sit here and go, all right, universe, help me out here. I've got to take the steps to do that, and in order to take those steps, I have to be the one who's in control of my nervous system and re-regulating myself so I'm not living in survival mode, because survival mode's not the vibe, guys. We want to re-regulate. We want to be operating from this calm, cool flow state. And we've got a lot of control over that, actually. Although those trauma triggers are strong and those trauma responses do their job well, we have so much control over re-regulating ourselves as well. Which, side note, segue, is one of the big things that I teach inside of my Divorce Crucible program. Because when you're going through divorce, do those trauma responses get triggered? There's a lot of different things that can trigger that in divorce. And one of the biggest skills that you can have is this awareness, this knowledge, the tools. There's lots of different tools you can use to re-regulate your nervous system. And that is one of the most important things you can do when going through a divorce. So, massive thing that I teach. I practice what I preach, and I share it with you guys. So if you're interested in more about the Divorce Crucible and what we do inside that program, let me know. I'd be more than happy to send you the information. I am currently looking for my first 5 people to be beta testers for it. So there's a discounted price right now for the first 5 people to come in and do the beta testing. So if you think that's you, let me know. I would love to take you through it and get your feedback on what's the most supportive for you in all of that, what other things you'd like to see, all of that. So there's that. Okay, oh my goodness, I'm almost out of time and I didn't get to answer the question. Okay, I only have one question this week anyway. And actually, it's all related to some of this stuff anyway, so I can answer before I have to go to a school run quickly. The question was, I have just made the decision to separate from my husband, and oh my God, does this suck? Is it going to feel like this forever? And the reason I say that this is related is because nervous system regulation, emotional regulation is going to be your friend here. But the short answer of, is this going to feel like this forever? It won't, my love. I promise you. It feels like it. When you are in those feelings, it can feel like, oh my God, this is never going to end. This is it now. But one quote that I held on to through my divorce was by, is it Rainer Rilke or something like that? The quote is, no feeling is final. That's the short version of it. That's the bit that I held on to. There's more to it than that. But the crucial bit for me was, no feeling is final. And so you will go through the emotional circles, the ups and downs, and there will likely be times where you're like, this is the worst thing that ever happened. And then there'll be times where you're like, thank fuck for that. And there might be times where you're like, am I doing the right thing? Is this actually harmful for all of us? Am I screwing my kids over by this? Or then you'll be like, oh my God, I cannot wait to be free from this. And like, all of these are possibilities and so much more. And none of it will last. All of those feelings will come and go, and you will be able to get through them, and they will lessen in intensity. And all of that will happen naturally on its own. And there's things that you can do to help yourself through that, to learn how to handle those emotions in a better way, to learn how to soothe yourself and to lessen the intensity. Like I said, it's one of the things I teach in this program. So if you want the information, please do let me know. I would love to invite you into it. If you were one of my founding members, I would be so honored to have you in there. But also, I know you said you've just made that decision, and if you're like, oh my God, this is too soon, I understand that too. Like, everybody comes to these decisions and wants support at different times. And so if you're like, stop talking to me about this, I just need to know like how to get through today, I gotcha. That's okay too. If you want to know how to get through today, my suggestion is dance party, take a walk, journal, something like that. Change up your emotions, change up your state, dump the thoughts out, and go from there. Every day is a new day. Every hour is a new hour. Like, just take it one step at a time. And that is how you get through this part. When you surface and you're like, oh my God, I could use some support in all of this, you know where to find me. I'm not going anywhere. And just know that you are absolutely not alone in this, and it does get better. Please use me as the living proof of that. At this time 4 years ago, my husband had just moved out. He had just come in and collected all of his stuff. Every day was, I don't know what to tell my 2.5-year-old about what's happening right now. Are you going to see Daddy? Are you not? Like, every day was a brand new day in hell at this point 4 years ago. I did not have a fucking clue where we were going, what was going to happen, how any of it was going to look. I actually, at this point, had no clue we were going to get divorced. That wasn't even really on my radar. Well, it had been on the radar, and I was adamant it wasn't going to happen. Like, we were going to fix this. And now, like, you know, I've gone through all of this. I am so happy. I'm so glad we got divorced. Does it suck sometimes? Yep, still sucks sometimes. And it had to happen. It was the best thing for all of us. And I promise you, you get to be happy in this afterwards. So that's what I've got to say. I have to go get my children now because today, well, not because today is handover today, but today is handover day on Wednesdays. So they've been with their dad the last few days. This is the first time I get to see them. So I really don't want to be late on Wednesdays. If this brought up anything at all for you, please do send me a message. This is called a tea break chat because chats are like, you know, two-way conversations. So please send me a message, a carrier pigeon, a DM, whatever you want. Let me know what came up. Let me know what you want to chat about. If you're like, I totally agree, that's amazing. Or you're like, oh my God, that's awful. Why did you say that? Or anything in between. If you're like, I want to hear more about this. How do I work with you? What's this Divorce Crucible program that you're talking about? Or, no, I don't like other people. I don't want to do a group thing. I just want your time and attention. We can do that. Send me a message. I mean, check out lindseyhallcoaches.com if you want to see all the stuff on my website. But more than that, like I said, real person here. It's just me. I'm going to answer your messages. I'm going to, reply to the emails. I will be the one leaving you a voice note. So come on, drop on in with questions, and I am here to chat about all of it. And if you're just like, I just want to say hi, I like that too. I really like people saying hi. So I'm sending you loads of love. I'm going to go crank up the tunes for one last dance so I can shift my energy before I get my girls, switch into mum mode, and I will see all of you next week. Okay, sending you lots of love. Bye.